It covers close to 5.4 million square miles, or 13.9 million square kilometers of our planet. Yet most of Antarctica remains a mystery. We know that it's mostly ice because that's what photos of the area have shown, and what past excursions have proven. But it's what's hidden underneath the frozen surface that continues to surprise us. With underground lakes, bizarre, never-before-seen creatures, hidden cavities that dwarf the Grand Canyon, and hints of government cover-ups, it's time to find out what's really buried down there. With temperatures that have plummeted to negative 89.2 degrees Celsius or negative 128.6 degrees Fahrenheit, you might think that on the surface, Antarctica is nothing more than a giant slab of frozen, watery wasteland. Well, you'd be right. You see, the so-called ice sheet covers about 98% of the entire Antarctic continent. But it's what's underneath that tells another story. Before we get any further, let's clarify a couple of things. Firstly, this one here is Antarctica, the southernmost tip of the Earth. And this one, all the way up here, is the Arctic, the northernmost point. Alrighty, sometimes deep and sometimes shallow, under the mysterious ice sheet sits a series of, ready for it, lakes, close to 400 in total. One of these lakes is the 15-million-year-old Lake Vostok, which has even developed its own high and low tide system due to the ongoing rotation of ice freezing and thawing above it on the surface. Closer to the edge of the ice sheet, scientists have found ice streams, flowing water in a region that's supposed to be frozen solid. Cool, huh? Okay, so maybe all of the water isn't completely frozen, but there's no way those unimaginable temperatures could host any living creatures, right? Nope. Wrong. Amazingly, back in 2013, scientists discovered microbial life over in Lake Whillans in West Antarctica. These microscopic life forms have found a way to survive without sunlight. Early in 2019, scientists discovered a solitary fish, hiding 3,500 meters, that's over 11,400 feet, into the dark, ominous subsurface. Dr. Andrew Stewart admitted that he had absolutely no idea what species it is. It's some sort of ultra-rare sea cucumber that can withstand 300 times more pressure than humans, but that's as far as they've got. Beneath the Antarctic surface hides giant so-called cavities, some which bury as deep as the infamous Grand Canyon in Arizona. Dubbed the most dangerous glacier in the world because of its realistic chance of melting, the Thwaites Glacier has a secret. A giant rip has opened up underneath the surface. The cavity underneath of the glacier allows more heat to get in, which melts the ice even faster. It's a deadly cycle. The visuals from now compared to a few years ago tell a sad story. Alrighty, people. Our next hidden surprise, remarkably, is proof of a tropical rainforest underneath the ice. Tropical conditions in Antarctica? Yeah, you heard that right. While it might be a little hard to comprehend, before Antarctica was nothing but ice, 100 million years ago, it was covered in towering, lush forests. We know this because scientists have regularly excavated entire fossilized logs, large enough to indicate that they came from really big trees. Just like this one. Any guesses as to which type of creatures roamed through those forests? Yep, dinosaurs. It's not all weird fish and intriguing fossils beneath the ice sheet, though. Sadly, there's some bodies down there, too. With a climate that takes no prisoners, hundreds of explorers have fallen victim to the harsh conditions and lack of facilities. It's just another layer to the incredible, mysterious puzzle that is Antarctica. While we learn more about it every day, since the Antarctic Treaty enforces very strict rules about who can and who can't explore the area, the mysteries won't be entirely solved anytime soon. Find out more about why no one's allowed to explore the Antarctic by checking out our related video in the description. Okay, so let's say you're a researcher and fall through a crevasse in the ice. Could you survive down there in one of those subglacial lakes? And for how long? Well, assuming you had some sort of access to oxygen, the answer is still not long. According to the U.S. Coast Guard, in water that's 32.5 degrees Fahrenheit or colder, 15 minutes is all it takes, and shock will set in within the first 2 minutes. As for on the surface, that's another story. Around 3,000 researchers in summer and 400 in winter do, in fact, live on bases scattered around Antarctica. Of course, since we still know so little about the area, plenty of wild theories are thrown around. Some think the ice sheet is hiding the lost city of Atlantis, and that there was a thriving civilization there before the Ice Age. while others are adamant that Germans built a station on Antarctica to fly to the moon. What do you think? As we've seen, there's some crazy things below the surface, but there's just as many oddities above it. From gold-spurting volcanoes to blood-red waterfalls, and a long list of endemic wildlife including friendly emperor penguins and not-so-friendly 10-inch sea spiders that have been affected by polar gigantism. To say that Antarctica is a peculiar place is an understatement.